Hey everyone, Melissa here, and the topic today is about triggers. What are they and what does it mean for you? So as we start expanding our own experiences with law of attraction and manifesting things in our lives, and other people are coming into our place and space, we can tend to have things that will trigger us. And it can be people, it can be things, it can be situations. And what that basically means is something has tapped into you. It causes you to be angry or mad or feel sad or disappointed. It can have a lot of emotion. So anytime you're up leveling, that you're creating something better for yourself, be aware of these triggers that come up. Because what I've learned on my journey is sometimes these triggers are to not really challenge you or test you, but just an awareness of how things used to be. Because we're so used to wanting to go back into the mindset that we had before, it's almost like we're being sucked back into that arena of having those same experiences. So for instance, sometimes you would hear the saying, things are going so good, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? So then your mind is constantly thinking, when is that going to happen? When is that going to happen? But it doesn't have to happen. Nothing like that has to be true for you. Someone else can believe it if they want, that's fine. But for you, you're learning to up level, you're learning to upgrade your system and let go of some of those old stories and beliefs. So triggers are another thing that I want you to work on, because being able to identify them and identify where it comes from can be very helpful for you. So for instance, today when I was coming home, I'm in traffic and the road goes in from 2 lanes to 1 lane, it merges into 1 lane. Everybody knows that, the speed limit drops down, but inevitably there's people that just fly in that other lane just to get ahead and cut over in front of someone else, and someone cut in front of me. So as I'm thinking about that, I'm coming to the realization like, okay, that triggers me, that pisses me off. Just wait in line with the rest of us. How rude are you to be able to, think that you can just drive past everybody? Why are you so in such a hurry? All this story comes up for me. And then I paused and I thought, so what is it about that that's really triggering me? Well, one of the things was they're not following the rules, right? So I'm a rule follower for the most part. The other thing is how come I'm not smart enough or brave enough to just bust up through that other lane and get in front of everybody? I mean, it was so bad. One person went through the traffic light. It was a single light. She went through and cut into front of these other people. It was crazy. So that's what kind of sparked my topic for today. Like, what triggers you? Because that triggered me, to the point. And I even had one lady cut in front of me, there was hardly any room, and she decides she's just going to jump in line in front of me after she had busted butt up in that other lane. And so I just laid on the horn, and again, that's where it all started. Isn't that interesting that I'm finding myself to be triggered on how these individuals are choosing to drive? And so when I noticed that, and like I said, realized that, why am I not doing the same thing? Why are they not following the rules? Those kind of things. I'm allowed to ease into those questions and be like, okay, I choose to do things that I feel are right when it comes to that traffic law, or, what you're supposed to be doing, responsibly driving your car and going according to the speed limit and merging into the lanes and all of that. I choose to follow those rules, and I'm going to do that. So there may be times that I don't follow it the way I'm supposed to, and somebody might be triggered by my behavior or my actions. The other thing is knowing that I could be like them if I choose to, very easily. I could do that same thing next time, but I know what my character and my value is. I don't want to be like that person. I don't want to have to feel like I'm in such a hurry that I have to break the rules or bend the rules, or even not. I don't even want to use rules. Just do something that isn't putting others, putting our safety at risk, or just anything like that. So when you think about that, then, so as you're creating your own life, let's talk about your dieting or getting healthier. There will be oftentimes some triggers that come up with that, like food triggers. When someone says to you, oh, you can eat that, a little bit won't hurt you. And we believe that because we want it to be true so that we can have whatever it is that they're offering up. Or I'm going to skip my exercise because one day of not exercising isn't going to hurt anything. But the truth is, there are things that need to stay in motion, that need to be followed in a certain pattern. So when you do that, when you say to yourself, I'm not going to exercise today, or yes, I am going to have that candy or whatever it is you told yourself you wasn't going to have, even though it doesn't seem like a trigger, it's actually triggering within you something of an old habit, of an old reminder. And that's the big challenge. The challenge is to get through these triggers without allowing them to have you fall back so far. You have to start over, you have to pick yourself back up. It's just a matter of more like a stumbling block, or you stubbed your toe. Look at it in those sense that So if you do have a trigger and that trigger causes you to eat or causes you to skip your workout or whatever you might be dealing with, just be okay with that. Make yourself aware that I chose to do that. So my husband brought home donuts this morning. My favorite is custard filled, the Long John ones with the chocolate icing on it. He knows that. He brings it home to me. I had committed a week ago that I was going to start changing my eating habits and get better with that. And when I found out he brought me a donut, not only one, he brought me two, I decided that I'm going to have that donut. And so I took it with me and had it this morning with my coffee at work. The thing is in the past, I would have just beaten myself up over and over and over again because I did that. And the realization is that I'm not going to change my health habits. I'm not going to change my size or my weight overnight. I know that to be true. I know that by eating that donut was a choice that I made consciously. I enjoyed that. I was in gratitude of that, the way that it was given to me, the way it was offered to me, and how I enjoyed that. And so going at it in that mindset, knowing that that was okay for me, I'm good with that. And like I said, in the past, I would have ate both of them. I would have ate them not even realizing I was eating them. Like I tasted that donut. I savored the flavor of that. And that's the thing, like in those moments, don't be so hard to trip your own self up. Don't cause your own triggers by creating stories around things that you know are what you want to let go of. Because that sometimes can be the trigger as well. It's just coming back. The ego's showing you, well, remember, you like to eat donuts and I'm going to have one show up for you and I know you're going to eat that donut. It's all in what you do with the information. I know it can be a little hard to take it all in and struggle, but I hope that you've heard something that resonates with you in a way that you can recognize now when you have triggers. Because it could even be coworkers or family members or friends. Like they'll say something that will trigger you. There can be a word or a phrase, or they speak of an event. Like it brings it all flooding back into you and how you felt about that. And then you have to start breaking it down again to where I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to bury that shit. It doesn't exist. But the whole time let's just put a light on it and see what it was that happened. Well, I didn't make the best decision and I wished I would have done this differently and I wished I would have said this to that person. Like, of course you can look at it now. And the thing is say, okay, so I didn't do the things in the manner that I would do it now, hindsight looking back. But moving forward, that whole situation is in my past and is no longer in service to me because I don't have to relive that again and again and again. So many people live their stories over and over and over. It's like Groundhog Day. They get up every day and repeat the same pattern. I get up, I go to work, I come home, I watch 2 hours of TV, I drink a case of beer, whatever it might be, and then I go to bed and I repeat the cycle over and over. The weekend comes, it flies by because I'm doing the same thing. I'm not making plans. I'm not utilizing my time in a way that is more productive for myself. So that's what I mean by being able to look at situations that trigger you and figure out how to change them. If you're unhappy with how you look, how you feel, your weight, you know what you can do to change them. You're going to be triggered by it when you try to fasten your pants and they don't fit, or you see your belly has dropped over the top of your pants, or that kind of thing. Like when you notice those things, that's just you loving yourself. Just a gentle reminder. It doesn't have to be a thing of punishment or discipline.